This week we're going to smash stuff and freeze the motion using a speed light.
Adorama TV presents Exploring Photography with Mark Wallace, where you will learn innovative techniques on shooting a wide range of photography. Here's your host, Mark Wallace.
Hi everybody, welcome to Adorama TV and another episode of Exploring Photography. I'm Mark Wallace. Well, today we are going to be freezing motion. Now, when we were setting everything up and making sure we had everything dialed in, we tried this by having Matt, our videographer, throw water balloons at my face. And we're not going to be doing that today because it really hurts. No, I mean, it really, really hurts to get hit at high speed with a water balloon in the face. So instead of freezing water balloons hitting somebody's head, what we're going to be doing is I'm going to be smashing light bulbs, and we have some other things that we're going to be freezing the motion of stuff happening. Now we're going to be doing this in a way that isn't really conventional. In fact, it's sort of counterintuitive. And so what we're doing here is I'm using a Fujifilm X Pro 1. It's an awesome camera, and I have the shutter on this set to a full second. So a full second, why would we do that? Well, we're doing that so we can open up the shutter on the camera, and then as I'm smashing whatever, blowing whatever up, what we can do is we can freeze that motion with our strobe. And so I'll be triggering a strobe to freeze that motion. And because I don't have to worry about the shutter opening and the mirrors moving out of the way and all that kind of stuff happening, we get a better result. And this is really something that you use when timing is really hard to do. Something like capturing a light bulb getting smashed with a hammer. Now, for all of this to work, we have come up with this great little animation that explains exactly what we're going to be doing. So let's take a look at that animation right now. When you push the shutter release, the shutter opens to start the exposure. Once the shutter is open, Matt will throw the water balloon at my face. When the water balloon hits my face, I'll trigger the flash using a pocket wizard. The goal is to trigger the flash right when the water balloon breaks. If the timing is right, we'll capture the exact moment of impact.
1, 2, 3.
All right, well, now that you've seen the animation and you sort of see me get hit in the face with a water balloon, that really hurt. We're not doing that, but let me show you how we have set all of this stuff up. It's really, really simple. We're using a Fujifilm X Pro 1 camera. I love this camera. It has a great dynamic range, and it's really high resolution, and that's why I chose this. And so what I've done is I've pre-focused this camera. And I've done that because we don't want to have any delay when we hit the shutter release. We want that shutter to open and be ready to go. Now, the second thing I've done is I've set this to full manual mode. It's at a 1 second exposure at f/16. Now, why f/16? Let's start there. The reason we're shooting at f/16 is I want to make sure that when I shatter this light bulb or whatever we have going on here, that we have plenty of depth of field. We can see everything. We want everything to be in focus. So that's why we're f/16. But why are we shooting at a full 1 second exposure? Well, we're doing this because we're trying to choose something that's really, really tricky. We're trying to freeze some action that's really hard to accomplish. And so if we just tried to smash the light bulb and take a picture at just the right moment, that's going to be really difficult for several reasons. A, the timing is going to be really difficult. But secondly, on almost any camera, what's going to happen is if the camera has a mirror, that mirror has to flip up, then the shutters have to open, then the camera has to send a signal to a flash, then the flash has to fire. And although that happens extremely quickly, you can miss the shot with all of that stuff happening. So instead of doing that, what we're going to do is we have this set to a full 1 second exposure. So the shutter opens completely, and the camera is essentially just waiting for light to come in. And the light that we're going to give it is going to come from this flash right here. Now that is key because this flash has a very short flash duration. In other words, it will turn on and off in the span of about 10,000th of a second, which means if that's the only light that the camera sees, we're going to see only a 10,000th of a second of stuff happening, which will freeze all of our exploding glass or our breaking eggs or a water balloon in the face. It's going to freeze all of that. And because we can trigger that flash remotely, and I'm using a Pocket Wizard Plus 3 to do that, it makes it a lot easier to smash and trigger and have that motion captured appropriately. So that's why we have this set to a full second, because it makes it really easy to freeze motion and get the timing right. Now, triggering this flash, we're using a Pocket Wizard Plus 3 as a transmitter and another one on the flash itself, and the flash is set to full manual mode. and we metered that flash using a normal Sekonic light meter, and we metered that to make sure that it was actually giving us light output at f16, and so all of that is set up. So manual mode, everything is preset, including the focus and the flash exposure, so we get a perfect exposure every single time. Now I want to talk a little bit more about that flash duration and the ambient light. Now obviously when you're shooting with a shutter speed of a second, really long shutter speed, you're going to have to really make sure you restrict the ambient light. So let me show you exactly what happens here. I've got this camera set up. It's already focused and it's got all of its settings done. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take a picture and show you what happens. So when I take this picture and we take a look at it, you can see that it looks like a normal picture of a light bulb, and it looks like everything is good. That's not what we want. We want that picture to be absolutely black so that the only light that we see is the light from the flash. Because if we try to take this picture again, I'll do this again, take a shot and I move my hand around there, you can see that now we've got a nice still light bulb, but my hand and everything else around it is sort of just this blur, this ghosty blur. So what we need to do is we need to kill the ambient light. So we're going to do that now, and it's going to be totally dark in here. I'm going to sort of disappear, but the light is going to go away. And now if we take that same picture again, you'll see that we have much less light pollution. And when that comes up, you can see that we have a really, really dark picture. It's completely black. So we can turn back on our lights here. So once we have everything set up, we've restricted our ambient light, and we have all that stuff ready to go, then we can start smashing stuff. Now one other thing I want to mention, back here we have this big black muslin that we've set that up. We've done that specifically to limit all the light that's coming into our camera to make sure we kill as much ambient light as possible. We want a nice solid black background, so this stuff looks really, really punchy. All right, well, we've talked enough. We've talked way too much. Let's start smashing stuff, and we'll start by smashing some light bulbs. So I need to grab some safety glasses. I need to grab a hammer and get some assistance, and we'll do that next. All right, we're ready to start smashing stuff, but to do this and do it well, I need some help. I can't do all this stuff myself. So to help out, I'm going to actually have somebody trigger the camera, and that somebody is Kelsey. And we might even need Matt to help out, but since I'm still mad at him for throwing water balloons at my face, we don't need him right now, and never with water balloons, so get out of here. All right, so what we're going to be doing is Kelsey will put her finger on that trigger, and she's going to count to 3. She'll say,
1, 2, 3.
and then she'll click the shutter that opens that up, and then I can smash this and trigger that flash, and then hopefully, if we've done everything correctly, we'll get an awesome shot. Now, we've done some practice before, and I don't know if you can see, but we have all kinds of smashed light bulbs on the floor. And what we found is to get that timing exactly right is extremely difficult, because the tendency is to flash when the hammer hasn't quite hit the light bulb. And so it takes a little practice to make sure you get that all right. But with practice, you can get some shots. So without further ado, what we're going to do is we're going to shut off all the ambient lights. We're going to turn on our low-res, low-light, green, crazy camera so you can sort of get a sense of what we're doing. And we're going to make some pictures of light bulbs exploding. But before we do that, of course, we're going to wear safety goggles. Nope, too soon. Too early. All right, well, we had a lot of fun smashing light bulbs, but next we want to try to smash a couple of eggs. And so we have a piece of plexiglass set up right here, and basically everything else is the same. We've got a camera, we got a flash, we got a remote trigger, all of that stuff. The only exception is I can't throw these eggs accurately or very hard. So I'm bringing in the son of a major league pitcher named Matt Madrid, and Matt is going to be throwing the eggs, and I'm going to be taking care of the camera and the remote trigger of the flash. Matt, you ready to hurl some eggs?
I'm ready.
Okay. Sounds bad. Let's do it. Oh my gosh, Wallace. Oh! Ow! Whoa! Totally got it. Well, we smashed light bulbs and we have broken some eggs. The eggs didn't work out exactly as we planned, but next up, we're going to dunk strawberries into whole milk and catch some of that milk splashing everywhere. It's gonna be awesome, so let's get started. Well, our strawberry dropping didn't work very well, and so what we did is we found out that we got some great splashes, but because of the angle of the camera, we couldn't actually see the strawberry going into the milk. So to solve for that, what we did was we put the the milk bowl on the floor so that we could get the camera up and above that milk. So we're gonna do it again, but this time, hopefully, with this new angle, we can actually see the strawberries and the milk at the same time. That's it. Well, smashing stuff is always fun in the studio, and as I showed you, it's pretty simple to do. Make sure your ambient light is low, that you have a long shutter speed, about a second or so, and then you use your speed light or studio strobe to freeze that motion, and you can freeze just about anything, and if your timing is good, you can get some really amazing shots. Unfortunately, after everything is said and done, you gotta clean everything up, so that's what I'm about to do right now. So thanks for joining us this week, and I'll see you again next time. We're off? Okay. Here you go. Where's my coffee? Matt, you ready to hurl some eggs?
I'm ready.
Okay. Sounds bad. Let's do it. I'm hurling eggs.
I only do this because I love everybody who watches our shows.
1, 2, 3. You totally got it.
Oh, that hurts so bad.
1, 2, 3. Well, it happened to hit you, but you turned it too soon. 1, 2, 3. Did you dodge that?
Okay.
Ready?
Last one.
1,
God, this hurts.
2, 3. I don't even think you triggered it.
I did trigger it.
Well, then Matt threw it too early.
Oh.
It was black.
No.
Adorama TV is brought to you by Adorama, your best source for the equipment and knowledge you need. For all the latest photography, video, and computer gear, visit Adorama.com. Place your order by 7 p.m. and it ships the same day. Plus, the next time you're in New York City, be sure to visit our store located on 18th Street between 5th and 6th Avenue. Check out the Adorama Rental Company for professional cameras, lighting, computers, and more. We'll help you make the best selection to match your needs while giving you the knowledge to achieve the best outcome from your rental. Adorama is your complete solution for equipment, printing, training, and more. Adorama, more than a camera store.